Hat, check. Sunglasses, check. Notes, check. Pepsi, check. Sources, check. Thick skin, check. Oh, and one more thing. 10,000 subscribers, check. Let's go! Welcome back to Golden Blued, everybody. If you are a college football fan, a loyal, diehard college football fan, this is the channel for you. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. College football videos every single day. Conference realignment has ruled the offseason, including yours truly. I know I've pumped out at least 75 conference realignment videos over the summer. I just got infatuated with it and it sucked me in, not gonna lie. Well, today I want to do some season prediction videos for teams that are auditioning for their new conferences. And I'm not saying this is going to make a difference where they actually go to the conference or not. These are done deals or possible future deals. This season's not going to have anything to do with it, but I'm going to do a season prediction for those teams, and you could consider it an audition before they actually get to their destination. First, we'll get to the ACC teams, because those are the teams that are more up in the air. The ACC grant of rights haven't gotten figured out yet, and they need to get figured out if these teams are to get bumped up to the next level, whether it be the Big Ten or the SEC. I'm talking about Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, Virginia, and Miami. First, we're going to start with Florida State. How the mighty have fallen. I remember growing up, Florida State was just a dominating college football team. Florida State was going to win the ACC every stinking year, and you were just trying to figure out, hey, are they going to make the national championship this year, and who are they going to play, and can they actually win it this year? Because remember, Florida State, they were very, very elite, but they didn't win a ton of national championships. But man, they have fallen off a cliff ever since Jimbo Fisher left them in ruins. And yes, Jimbo won a national championship with Florida State, but he ran that program into the ground and he got out of Dodge, and he's making a crap ton of money over there at Texas A&M, and he's going to do the same to you, Texas A&M. I know he's recruiting at a high level, but what is he doing with it? I'm telling you, sooner or later, Texas A&M fans will realize exactly what I'm talking about and what Florida State fans are going through right now. Beware of Jimbo Fisher. So here's a look at Florida State's 2022 college football schedule. It's not a horrific schedule, but there are some challenges on there. That first game, Duquesne FCS, that's a gimme win, and I know they lost to FCS Jacksonville State last year, but I think they learned their lesson, and Duquesne is nowhere close to being as good as Jacksonville State. That's a win. Then you get LSU in New Orleans. It's a 50-50 game, but I think LSU just has too much talent. Brian Kelly is recruiting at a high level. They hit the transfer portal hard. Jada Daniels will be their starting quarterback, and he's a great quarterback. It's going to be a close, hard-fought game, but I'm giving the edge to LSU. This game is at Louisville. This is also a 50-50 football game. Louisville has the potential of having a bounce-back year, but I don't think they're going to have quite enough. I think Florida State goes on the road and upsets Louisville and gets the 50-50 win. Next up, Boston College at home. If this game were on the road, I would actually pick Boston College, but this is at home for Florida State. It's going to be a close game. Make no mistake about that. But I think Florida State pulls off a very close win over Boston College. Next up, number 22, Wake Forest. Wake Forest lost their starting quarterback. That is a big blow to Wake Forest. They're going to have a terrible, terrible offense. Florida State will win this game, and they might win it comfortably. Next up, at number 13, NC State. I think Florida State loses this game. They could actually get blown out in this game. NC State's going to be a really, really good team. I just see no way of Florida State beating NC State. Next up, number 4, Clemson. They're going to be coming off a loss on the road to NC State. Clemson is going to be very, very good this year. This is another loss for Florida State. After that, you get Georgia Tech at home. Be careful with this game. Georgia Tech is capable of beating you, but I think Florida State pulls off a close win over Georgia Tech. After that, a road trip to number 16, Miami. I think Miami's just too much this year, although you could pull another stunning upset like you did last year, but this time it's on the road. I have Florida State losing. After that, on the road to Syracuse. I don't like where this game is placed. I don't like where this game is played. I think this is a close loss for Florida State. Letdown loss for Florida State on the road. That dome is crazy. It is tough to win there. After that, you get Louisiana at home. Could be a close game, but I think you win that game. And finally, the rivalry game at home against Florida. This also will be a close game, but I also think Florida State wins this game as well. I have Florida State going 6-6, getting to a bowl, maybe winning the bowl, and finish this season above 500, 7-6. Hey, it's better than missing a bowl. Trust me, the Big Ten and the SEC, they're not necessarily going to look at the regular season. They're going to look at how much money you bring in. So you Florida State fans, pack out Doak Campbell Stadium this year. Support your team like you've never supported them. Up next is number 4, Clemson. I think Clemson is due for a big bounce back year this year. I know they lost their defensive coordinator, Brent Venables. I know they lost their offensive coordinator, Tony Elliott. But Clemson has a ton of talent, and they could have the best defense in the ACC this year. Here's a look at their schedule. It does set up pretty well for Clemson this year. They don't have to start with Georgia like they did last year. Instead, they start with Georgia Tech. That's a win. And FCS Furman, that's a win. Louisiana Tech, that's a win. On the road to number 22, Wake Forest. At first, I had this as a 50-50 game, but with Wake Forest losing their starting quarterback, they're going to have a terrible defense. This should be a solid win for Clemson. Right after that, number 13, NC State. Listen, last year, Clemson was having a down year, and NC State had a pretty good team, and it was in Raleigh, and it still took everything NC State had to barely beat Clemson at home. That's not the case this year. Clemson will blow out NC State this year. Next up, a road trip to Boston College. Do not sleep on this game. This has trap written all over it. Boston College is going to be much better. I do think Clemson has more talent, so I have Clemson winning a very close 50-50 football game, but this very well could be a trap game for Clemson because right after that, they stay on the road to Florida State. Now, I think Clemson beats Florida State quite easily, but that's what I'm saying. That road trip to Boston College the week before could be a trap game. Beware, Clemson. After that, you get Syracuse at home. That's going to be an easy win. You go on the road to number 5, Notre Dame. I do think Clemson has more talent than Notre Dame, but this is on the road. It's going to be late in the season. Probably going to be a night game, prime time. I think Notre Dame has enough to pull off a mild upset at home. Then you get Louisville at home. Should be an easy win. Then you get number 16, Miami at home. If this were on the road, I'd actually probably pick Miami. Miami's going to have a lot of talent this year, but it's at home, so I think Clemson wins a close 50-50 football game. Maybe by 10, 14 points, something like that. After that, you get South Carolina at home. That should be a win for Clemson. So I have Clemson finishing 11-1, getting to the ACC Championship, probably have a rematch with Miami, so that's going to be a test. But if they get past Miami, Clemson will be in the playoffs. And that's my segue into Miami. Preseason ranked number 16, high expectations. Here's a look at their schedule. First, they get FCS Bethune-Cookman. That's an easy win. Southern Miss at home. That's an easy win. A road trip to number 6, Texas A&M. I have this as a loss, but I do think Miami is capable of beating Texas A&M on the road. If that happens, look out. Miami is in for a special season. After that, you get Middle Tennessee at home. That should be an easy win. North Carolina at home. Honestly, that's probably going to be an easy win. On the road to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's going to be horrible this year. That's going to be a win. You get Duke at home. Easy win. On the road to Virginia. I have that as a 50-50 football game, but I think Miami pulls off the win. Then you get Florida State at home. I have Miami getting their revenge and whooping Florida State at home. Then on the road to Georgia Tech. Be careful. This is a trap game. I have Miami winning this game, but where it's placed on the schedule, where it's being played at on the schedule, this is a trap game because immediately following that game, you stay on the road to number 4, Clemson. And I do think you lose to Clemson. But that game before at Georgia Tech, it is a trap game. Show up, play your A game. Otherwise, Georgia Tech could upset you. And finally, the home game against number 17, Pitt. I do have Miami finishing the season with a win against Pitt and getting to the ACC Championship. So I have them finishing 10-2, getting to the ACC Championship, and who knows, maybe they can pull off the upset and beat Clemson in the ACC Championship. Next up, North Carolina. Here's a look at their schedule. They get Florida A&M, who's an FCS team at home. Should be an easy win. Then a tricky road trip to Appalachian State. This is a trap game. I have this as a 50-50 win for North Carolina, but it would not surprise me if they lost this game. Right after that, staying on the road to Georgia State. That actually should be an easy win. Then you get number 5, Notre Dame at home. I have this as a 50-50 loss. Notre Dame has just had North Carolina's number since playing in the ACC. I think that trend continues. Then they get Virginia Tech at home. I think that's a win. On the road to number 16, Miami. I think North Carolina could actually get blown out on the road to Miami. After that, they stay on the road to Duke. That's an easy win. Number 17, Pitt at home. I have this as a 50-50 win for North Carolina. I think Pitt takes a big step back on the offense this year. Defense is going to be fine, but this will be a road trip for Pitt. I think North Carolina wins. Right after that, a road trip to Virginia. I have this as a 50-50 loss. Virginia is going to be a much improved team this year. Tony Elliott is going to put out a solid offense for Virginia. I think that spells an upset win for Virginia. After that, a road trip to number 22, Wake Forest. Once again, starting quarterback goes down. Wake Forest going to have a terrible defense. I think North Carolina goes on the road and beats Wake Forest. After that, Georgia Tech at home. That's an easy win. And then number 13, NC State at home. This is going to be a close game, but I think NC State is the better team. I have this as a 50-50 loss for North Carolina. So I have them going 8-4. That's a good year. You'll get to a decent bowl and have the potential of finishing 9-4. That's a good season for North Carolina. Finally, Virginia. I think Virginia has the potential of being a very good team in the ACC. Here's how their schedule sets up. First, you get Richmond at home. FCS. That's a win. On the road to Illinois. I think Illinois is going to be better than people realize. After that, you get Old Dominion at home. That's a win. On the road to Syracuse. I don't like it being on the road this early in the season. I think Syracuse will pull the mild upset over Virginia. After that, on the road to Duke. That's an easy win. Then you get Louisville at home. This is a 50-50 game, but it's at home. I don't trust Louisville. I'm giving the win to Virginia. And after that, on the road to Georgia Tech. Be careful. Could be a trap game, but Virginia is the better team, so I'm picking Virginia. After that, you get number 16, Miami at home. This is going to be a very, very close game, especially being at Virginia, but I think Miami just has way too much talent. After that, you get North Carolina at home. I think this is a 50-50 win for Virginia. I think these teams are evenly matched, so it being at Virginia, I'm giving Virginia the 50-50 win. Right after that, you get number 17, Pitt at home. I went back and forth on this game, but ultimately, I don't even know why, but I have Virginia losing this game. After that, you get Coastal Carolina at home. I think that's a close game. Be careful with that game, but I do think Virginia wins that game. And finally, a road trip to Virginia Tech. I know it's a rivalry game, but Virginia Tech will be ending a season where they just got beat up all over the place. So I think Virginia goes on the road and beats Virginia Tech. So I have Virginia finishing the season 8-4, kind of similar to North Carolina, getting to a decent bowl game. And who knows, maybe Tony Elliott can build something there in Charlottesville. So those are my predictions for the ACC teams that are auditioning for possible new conferences with the Big Ten or the SEC. Like I said before, the ACC grant of rights, that has to get figured out before any of this happens. It is the brick wall. So y'all let me know in the comments section what you think about my predictions of the ACC teams that could be auditioning for a spot in either the Big Ten or the SEC. That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.